Jules Kounde has agreed still to join Chelsea Football Club. There is a mutual determination between all three parties, the camp of Jules Kounde, Chelsea Football Club and Sevilla, to get this deal done. The defender, of course, in the summer of 2022, stated verbally and had a total agreement in place with Chelsea Football Club to join. That has remained unwavering. There is no yield. There is no change. He wants to become a Chelsea football player. And with Antonio Rudiger leaving, with Christiansen's situation the way that it is, and a rebuild at the back really needing to get done and needing to get underway, this is positive news indeed for Chelsea Football Club. Jules Kounde is a player that the fans want, the board want, and of course, he himself has a massive desire to get himself across. Now, we're going to delve into this in more detail for you, break it down, show you some of the snippets from some of the journalists as well, but make sure you smash that like and that share button. It's the Done Deal Show. We're back. Let's go. Now, this was one of the blockbuster transfer sagas of the 2021 summer. Jules Kounde had a total agreement with Chelsea to join, and Chelsea Football Club believed for the majority of the summer that they had an agreement in place with Sevilla. They had to get rid of Kurt Zouma. Initially, they tried to make Kurt Zouma part of the deal. That didn't happen. That fell apart. He then was very close to joining West Ham. That collapsed. West Ham came back in. Throughout the course of this situation, Sevilla and Chelsea had what Marina and Chelsea Football Club believed to be a very good relationship. They believed that there was an agreement in place. Yes, verbal, nothing official and on paper, because it can't be until certain transactions have taken place. But when Chelsea raised the money, freed up the salary, through moving Kurt Zouma on, the Jules Kounde deal would be agreed. The player was relaxed. The situation was where it needed to be. There were 2 or 3 occasions early on in the window where it looked like it was going to get over the line, but as we've mentioned, the Kurt Zouma situation changed it. Late on in the window, Kurt Zouma completed his move to West Ham. Chelsea Football Club believed that's it. Bang! We'll go and get Jules Kounde, replenish the squad. One of the best up-and-coming defenders in world football will be joining Chelsea. But then at the 11th hour, Sevilla upped the ante. They pulled the rug from under the feet of the deal and essentially turned around and said, actually, we want more money. We're going to need more money. Somewhere in the region of £20 million was added to the transfer fee. And this, of course, created a problem. Chelsea Football Club are renowned for being good around the negotiating table. This would have been seen as a massive, massive defeat. Now, a lot of football fans don't care for the power struggles at this level, but they're very, very important. You start paying an extra £20 million here, £8 million there, £10 million here. You suddenly sell a player for £8 million less, £12 million less, £15 million less. Over a 5-year period, you're hemorrhaging money. You will eventually miss out on new signings and, of course, the renewal of contracts because you simply will run out of money. There isn't, even with Roman Abramovich, there was never a bottomless pit of cash because of FFP. So Chelsea did the right thing from a moralistic standpoint. From a power play angle, from their point of view, they said no. Jules Kounde, as we know, was very disgruntled. There was a lot of frustration, but it all petered out. What's really positive for Chelsea is that this has been confirmed by a number of journalists. There remains a mutual determination for Jules Kounde to complete the transfer from Sevilla to Chelsea Football Club. All intents and purposes, he still has this total agreement. Nothing has changed. He doesn't want more salary. Doesn't want a change in status. In fact, he's even more excited now. He's a year older, and the likes of Rudiger are going. He is getting a starting berth. Chalobah and some of these young players came in and saw they have an opportunity this year, they're not good enough. They're not good enough for Chelsea to overtake City or Liverpool. Jules Kounde's potential suggests that he is. And it is potential because he's very young indeed. But he still wants to join. And this is big, big news indeed when it comes to Chelsea Football Club. As Simon Phillips shares here, Jules Kounde's desire to make the move to Chelsea is unwavering. And it has been told that once a takeover of the club is complete, he will be one of the first signings through the door. So let me just break this down how I see it. Chelsea can't do any official transfer activity. But what they can do is still speak to players via intermediaries. And that will be going on. That is one of the key uses of intermediaries, because Joe Bloggs, who's an intermediary, who doesn't work for Chelsea Football Club, if he's speaking to Jules Kounde, if he's speaking to Sevilla, if he's speaking to agents, Chelsea Football Club are not breaking any rules. He'll probably later on down the line build Chelsea for some services. He might even double bill him, triple bill him for a service in the future, but do this work, quote unquote, officially for free. It might be a new intermediary who's trying to build up his clientele base, build a relationship with a new club that knocks on Chelsea's door and says, look, I'll do the dog work and grunt work on this for you for gratis. I know you can't pay me. It's against the law. But I want to once your takeover is complete, let's get a little agreement in place. Maybe I can do a bit more intermediary work. Intermediaries are used now in football on a regular basis. It's how clubs can say, we haven't officially approached anybody. You can't be done for tapping up. You protect yourself from a PR standpoint. But the positive news here is that Chelsea Football Club look very, very close in terms of getting everybody to agree to getting Jules Kounde. Of course, this takeover has got to be completed. We've got to wait for the window to open on the 1st of July, I think it will be. But this deal looks as though it will get done at long last. And what a young talent he is. The rejuvenation at the back with Rudiger leaving, Thiago Silva getting older, Christensen, etc., and all that jazz. They need improvements. And I don't think Jules Kounde will be the only player. Certainly not the only defender this year, not the only player that comes in. 4 or 5 players in total, and probably 2 defenders at the very least are needed by Chelsea Football Club this summer, as Thomas Tuchel is going to look to rebuild his team. He's going to look to rejuvenate things and get Chelsea fighting again. This is a team that didn't quite develop this year how they expected. Chelsea are not this season where they thought they would be. They're simply not. But what's really, really cool, there's so many articles out there now. One I read here from Sam Smith, who said that Jules Kounde's view on joining Chelsea has not changed at all, and the Blues are poised to sign the young starlet. Every article I read, every newspaper I read, whether it's the Times, whether it's the Athletic, whether it's, of course, some of the tier ones from across Europe, they all say the same thing. Jules Kounde, he may have had approaches from Real Madrid. There may be other clubs like Man United currently sniffing around him. But as it stands, he still has that total agreement in principle with Chelsea Football Club. He wants to be a Chelsea football player, and that is where he wants to ply his trade. Now, as I've mentioned, Tuchel needs to rebuild this squad. Tuchel needs to get this team fighting again. Tuchel needs to get this team motoring forward. Thomas Tuchel needs to get this team punching in its weight class, because at the moment, they're so off kilter. They're so behind the curve at the elite end of the spectrum. Not when they're compared to Man United or to Brighton or to Southampton. No, well above them. We're talking the fine margins and the small inches at the elite end of the spectrum. There needs to be a big improvement. There needs to be more stability. There needs to be, the game has been changed. Something that most of us fans are probably not willing to admit, that the game got massively changed by Liverpool and City. And until Pep and Klopp leave, that doesn't look like changing at all. Less defeats, less draws, more wins are needed. Low to mid 90 points to win league titles. An absolute clinical edge needed when it comes to winning Champions Leagues and all of that. And of course, Chelsea have already won it, but you're going to need a lot more if you want to be able to compete with these guys. And Chelsea certainly do. Now, I want you to do me a big, big favor while you're here. Scan this QR code that is next to me. That will take you to our Clips channel. The Clips channel is now back. It's up and running. Daily clips each day from a variety of our shows, a variety of the debates, arguments, crazy take, and your phone calls are all going to be included on there each day. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification for that channel. You can click on the link in our description or in the comment section, but you might be watching on your TV. So scan that QR code and make sure you are following the Football Terrace. But as far as this deal is concerned, it looks almost set in stone that Jules Kounde is going to be a Chelsea player. It's a deal that most people believe would happen 12 months ago. It looks dead certain. It looks like a dead certainty to happen this year. Of course, the summer of 2022. Chelsea to start replenishing, rejuvenating, rebuilding this squad under Thomas Tuchel, who has committed himself to Chelsea, no less, for the following season. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. Leave your comments below. Make sure you're subscribing to this channel as well. Until next time, my people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.